Joe's Astrology. This is the astrology birth chart for Alexander Dolgopolov, and we don't have the time. This is just his birthday without the rising and the houses. And Dolgopolov, if you don't know him, he's a professional tennis player. He's my favorite professional tennis player, and he was very successful. I think he stayed in the top 50 for more than 10 years and did make it into the top 20 at one point. And this is going to be a chart that is heavily Mars, Saturn uh, focused. And I haven't really even dove into it, and I already know that's going to be the case. I do know he's a Scorpio sun. We can see there he's got a Pluto sun. Not only is the sun in Scorpio, but he also has Pluto there conjunct the ruler of Scorpio there conjunct his sun. And it's making a trine to his north node, his where his life is headed, uh, his life purpose, being there in Pisces. This guy has been living a dream life and traveled all over the world from a very young age. He's the son of a ex-professional tennis player as well, so he's been traveling the world, experiencing this Pluto Sun trine North Node in Pisces from probably as early as, since he's been born, pretty much. And this guy is the probably the most violent tennis player I have ever seen, and not really violent in the sense that he hurt people. But if tennis was a combat sport, this guy, he really knew how to uh, be aggressive. And really, with that Sun in Scorpio, he was like the idea of being a ninja on a tennis court, or being a sniper. This guy definitely had those qualities. And we see that his Saturn is at 29 degrees in Sagittarius, again being ruled by Jupiter. Um, Jupiter being the planet of travel, world travel, foreign affairs, and we see it's making an inconjunct to that Jupiter. So making it, at the very least, making an aspect to his Jupiter. And you could see even with that Virgo inconjunct that he's really, through travel, he's really working on himself and improving his game of tennis. That's how he got to where he is, more likely than not, by playing so many matches and just being comfortable traveling the world. We see this Saturn Mars trine, that easy flowing aspect between Saturn and Mars. And also, we don't have the time, so this moon is in Libra, but I'm willing to bet that it's closer to that Mercury, making it, having it make another inconjunct. So we see that Mars Moon aspect and the Saturn Mars aspect that we see in many athletes. He has this Mercury at 1 degrees, and his Moon looks like it'll probably be closer to that Mercury. So this is definitely a thinker. We can see another inconjunct with this Jupiter inconjunct Mercury. So we can tell that this guy was a thinker with so many inconjuncts, and a guy who can really analyze the game. Oftentimes you see with even professional tennis players at the top of the game, they're not really much of a, they don't really have that mercurial aspect to their game. They might use power and just be a big power players, big hitters, big servers, big forehand. This guy could do it all. He was not only aggressive and had big shots, big serve, big forehand, but he also could place the ball on a dime. He was an all-court player, which is also characterized by this Mercury. We see a nice Jupiter Venus trine. He's definitely a likable guy. Very lucky to be born as the son of a professional tennis player who likely already had a lot of money. We see that there with his Jupiter Venus trine. And we see a Jupiter. We have Jupiter squaring those nodes in Virgo and Pisces. So more indication that he really has that analytical ability with that South node in Virgo, being a mercurial person, a thinker, a guy who's interested in self improvement. And we can see that he's really having to resolve this North node, trying to bring all of that into uh, into balance and bringing that into this life of learning the game of tennis and trying to climb the rankings ladder. We also see his Chiron here in Cancer. And if you don't know this as well, after his tennis career was over with the war in Ukraine, he has made it public that he has been fighting as a uh, fighting in the military of Ukraine for his country, and we see that here with this Chiron representing the wound in his homeland, Cancer, and of Ukraine, and really having to fight to protect his homeland. So we see more of that as well with the idea of being a fighter and a warrior um, with these Mars aspects. We could even see Mars is aspecting that Chiron in a square, and we see Mars making a sextile to that Jupiter, indicating really that drive for success and and also really expanding that Mars, touching that Mars, and it's in Aries. I didn't even mention that he's Aries. It's in Aries where it rules, showing that this guy really could come out and just really go for it as well. Typically, you think of Mars and Aries doesn't have. And this is where you can see the chart really coming together, like an actual person rather than just one aspect. I was going to say Mars really in Aries, you think doesn't think and is very impulsive. And some people could say that about his game, but if you really know a lot about tennis, you can see, and looking at the whole chart, that there was a rhyme and reason to his approach. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I hope you enjoyed this. And someone recommended a chart, to me to read a chart uh, today, and or to read someone's chart, a famous person's chart. And if you have any recommendations, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will do them as well. I'm going to try to do as many of these as I can. And I hope you have a great day.